This was filmed in front of a live studio audience at twitch.tv/Oxio.
Yo, what's going on, Outriders? Welcome back to the channel. Today, I am bringing you a spicy little trickster build we got going on here. Now, I just want to preface this video by saying I'm not trying to show you the most optimal cracked build you'll ever see. Wow. The point of this series is to kind of show you what I've got going on my trickster. I want to use this as a tool to help find the most optimal and best setups for each class. So last week we did the Devastator, and this week I am bringing you the Trickster. If you like this content, please like this video. We're shooting for 50 likes on this one. I believe we can hit 50. I believe.
It's silly Outriders.
Subscribe for more content like this. Like I said, I'm going to be kind of evolving these builds as we go. But without further ado, let's get into this. And I know what you're thinking. What is that god-awful Spider-Man / Splinter Cell looking mask you got going on? I know. This looks absolutely horrid. But I promise you, looks can be deceiving. So first things first, we've got our skills. This will kind of just lay the baseline of the class. We're using Temporal Blade, Venator's Knife, and Hunt the Prey. Hunt the Prey is a wonderful offensive as well as defensive move. It'll get you in and out of situations very quickly, as well as Venator's Knife being able to slow down groups of enemies and double the damage of our Temporal Blade. Yeah, it's a nasty combo. You could use Borrowed Time instead of Hunt the Prey, but for me, Hunt the Prey just feels a little bit more fluid and seems to give me a little bit more uptime on my damage output. As far as the skill tree goes, we're specking hard into Anomaly, obviously. We're running as much Anomaly power as possible. I'd say the big, most important things here are Counter Shield. Activating your Deception skills increase your Anomaly power by 50% for 10 seconds. That is huge. Combat Shield's Timeline. Activating your Movement skill increases the Anomaly power by 50% for 10 seconds, so that's 100% damage increase right there. Anomic Acceleration, when your damage skill ends, increase your anomaly power by 50% for 10 seconds. So that's where we use our first Temporal Blade. The second one is going to be double damage, so you'll see thick boy damage number hits. You'll see damage numbers for 1.5, 2 million. I've seen it go all the way up to 3, 4 million with the Pyro. It's nutty. It's nutty. Leap of the Clincher, activating your movement skills increases your resistance piercing by 25% for 10 seconds. Just going to give us extra damage on those bigger boys. Scion of the Void, at the end of any damage skill, increase your armor piercing by 30% and resistance piercing by 25% for 10 seconds. So again, just triggering off the first end blade, we're just going to have thick damage on the second one. Altered Executioner says for each enemy in close range, your anomaly power is increased by 10%. So that's, again, why we're using the teleport rather than Borrowed Time, because we can just be up in their face as much as possible and be having as much damage output as physically possible. As far as our weapon and armor setup goes, I'm utilizing Roaring Umbra with Kinetic Stomp and Fortress. Fortress, obviously, to give us that 43% in our damage boost. Kinetic Stomp just to have a little bit of extra damage output, a little bit more uptime as far as the build goes. The two weapons I'm using almost act like a fourth and fifth ability, real similar to the Devastator build I put together last week. If you haven't seen that video, it's right up here. And then we're also using Air of the Desert, which says Sandstorm. Shots conjure a sandstorm, dealing 232,000 damage over 5 seconds, and Shadow Comet. Shots call down a comet, dealing 210,000 damage to enemies within a 3.5 meter radius. 3-second cooldown on the comet, 5-second cooldown on the sandstorm. So I'm basically kind of just fitting this in. After I spam out my abilities, I'll proc both the weapon perks, and I'll go back into using my abilities and just rinse and repeat over and over, essentially. We're using the Goggles of the Edge of Time, Anomaly Power, cooldown reduction, and Skill Life Leech. The Skill Life Leech is huge. It's just gonna allow us to stay alive more. The Trickster can be a little squishy, so the more Life Leech, the better. But as far as the mods go, we're using Double Slice. Temporal Blade damage enemies are additionally cut with an Anomaly Slice, dealing 50% damage. So we basically get 1.5 hits out of each hit, and we're using 2 hits. So we're basically getting 3 hits out of the 2. as far as the damage goes. On our chest, we're using Slasher. The skill can be activated one more time before triggering cooldown, so that's what is allowing us to get that second slice. As well as Shield Blast. A complete shield depletion triggers a powerful energy blast, dealing 147,000 damage to enemies within a 5-meter radius. This is going to be proccing relatively often because you kind of just get your shield back by teleporting to them. It gets taken down, and then you just rinse and repeat that. So it's procced pretty often. On our pants, we're using Power Assimilation. Boost your anomaly power by 11,061 for each elite present on the battlefield. This is huge in expeditions. There's elites everywhere, as you guys know. So we're constantly just getting a fat anomaly boost from that. And then Strong Slice. Temporal Blade increases skills damage by 56,539. That's just giving us more base damage, which is going to in turn feed the multiplier. And you're going to see some big boy numbers. On our gloves, we're using Cut Loose. Temporal Blade reduces the skill's cooldown by 20%, so we can have it up as much as possible. And Captain Hunter increases your damage against elites by 25%. Big damage buff again. Elites are everywhere in the end game, so it's almost a necessity at this point. Then our boots, we have Temporal Armor. Boots boosts armor by 50% for each enemy affected. Lasts 8 seconds, stacks up to 8 times. That's, again, for our Temp Blade. So we're going to be spamming that out as much as possible, keeping our armor up as much as possible. Basically, everything on this build revolves around Temp Blade. And then Untamed Power, using skills, deals 40,968 damage to enemies within a 5-meter radius around you. So again, just free damage. As we're using our skills, we're going to be getting that extra damage output. And yeah, just trying to tune it up as much as possible. One big thing here that we can swap out. I wish I had them. Once I get the chest piece, we can have all anomaly power. You'll see here on the boots, we've got max health rather than anomaly power. So once we get the chest piece, we can swap the boots out. We'll be at around 160k anomaly power base or so, which will just turn it up even more, feed that multiplier even more. So with that, I'm going to leave you guys some gameplay. If you have any comments or questions, please leave those down in the comment section down below. If you are seeing this as it goes live today, I will be streaming. Basically, as soon as this video goes up, I do tier 14 and 15 helps for people. Even if you don't need help, feel free to hop in, get some runs in, get some banter in. I like to have a good time on the stream. I am still looking for the boots on my Devastator and the chest piece on this class, so come wish me luck. But with that said, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Subscribe for more content like this, like the video, and I shall see you in the next one. Peace!